When you think of rapid economic growth in Asia, countries like China or Vietnam usually come to mind, not the Philippines. For decades, the country was rarely mentioned in conversations about booming economies, often overlooked in favor of its more prominent neighbors. Despite impressive achievements, the country's economic rise is often overshadowed by stories of political drama and natural disasters. Headlines tend to focus on typhoons, government scandals, or instability, masking the real progress happening beneath the surface. Many still see the Philippines through its past: poverty, corruption, and migration. Images of struggling families and workers leaving for jobs abroad have shaped perceptions for generations. But over the past decade, the country has transformed in surprising ways. New infrastructure projects are changing city skylines and connecting communities like never before. Filipinos have quietly built a new future, blending old strengths with new energy. Families, young professionals, and entrepreneurs are driving innovation and growth, creating opportunities that didn't exist before. This boom isn't just about factories, it's powered by family, spending, call centers, and remittances. The service sector, especially the booming BPO industry, and the steady flow of money from overseas workers have become pillars of the economy. The story is complex, with many moving parts, but that's what makes it important. It's a tale of resilience, adaptation, and hope for a brighter tomorrow. The Philippines is now one of Asia's fastest-growing economies, and its future matters to the world. Investors are taking notice, and the country's role on the global stage is expanding. Let's dig into what's fueling this growth, the challenges ahead, and what the future might hold for this nation of over 115 million. The hidden story of the Philippines' economic boom is just beginning to unfold. Let's look at the numbers and see what's really fueling the Philippine economy's growth. From 2010 to 2019, the Philippine economy grew at an impressive average of 6.4% per year, making it one of the fastest-growing economies in Asia during that period. Even after a pandemic-driven slump in 2020, the country rebounded quickly, with GDP growth hitting 7.6% in 2022. So, what's behind this remarkable boom, and what keeps the momentum going? First, strong domestic consumption. Filipino families spend big on food, housing, and education. This steady demand keeps businesses thriving and supports millions of jobs across the country. Second, massive investments in infrastructure through the Build program have modernized roads, bridges, and public transport, creating jobs and boosting productivity. Third, the rise of the service sector, especially business process outsourcing, which created millions of jobs and attracted foreign investment, making the Philippines a global BPO hub. In 2010, GDP per capita was about $2,200. By 2023, it had doubled to $3,600. This means more Filipinos are joining the middle class and enjoying a higher standard of living. That means more money in people's pockets and more opportunities for businesses, from small family-run stores to larger enterprises, to grow and innovate. But growth is uneven, and many are still left behind. Rural areas and urban poor communities often miss out on the benefits of economic expansion. Public debt is another concern. The government borrowed heavily to finance recovery and infrastructure, hoping these investments will pay off in the long run. By 2023, the debt-to-GDP ratio reached 61%, higher than before, but still manageable if growth continues and funds are used wisely. The challenge is to use this debt wisely to build a stronger, more inclusive future, investing in education, health and sustainable industries. Growth is real, but so are the risks. Global uncertainty, inflation, and climate change could threaten progress. The Philippines must balance ambition with caution, making smart choices to secure long-term prosperity. The next decade will test whether this boom can last and whether the benefits can reach every Filipino. The numbers tell a story of resilience, but also of challenges that can't be ignored. The future depends on how the country meets them together. Filipinos are natural consumers. Household spending makes up about 70% of GDP, a figure that highlights just how central everyday purchases are to the nation's economic engine. This percentage is much higher than in many other Asian countries, making the Philippines unique in its reliance on domestic consumption. People spend not just on basics like food and shelter, but also on gadgets, fast food, education, and even entertainment, reflecting a vibrant consumer culture. This steady demand keeps the economy moving, even when exports fall short or global markets slow down. Infrastructure is another key driver. laying the foundation for long-term growth. The Build program modernized roads, airports, and bridges, creating thousands of jobs and improving access to markets, schools, and healthcare. New airports in Clark and Cebu opened up new opportunities for travel, trade, and tourism. Infrastructure connects cities and countryside, fueling growth and helping rural communities participate in the economy. The service sector, especially business process outsourcing or BPO, is booming and transforming the job market. The Philippines is now the world's top provider of voice-based outsourcing, with over 1.4 million Filipinos employed in this sector. In 2022, the BPO sector earned $32.5 billion, more than tourism or agriculture combined, and it continues to grow each year. These jobs pay better than many local options, help raise living standards, and support millions of Filipino families. But rapid growth brings challenges: crowded cities, legendary traffic jams, and strained public transport systems that struggle to keep up. The next step is to build smarter, investing in mass transit, digital infrastructure, and green spaces to make cities more livable and efficient. The country's future depends on making growth sustainable, balancing progress with quality of life for all. It's not just about building more, but building better, creating cities and communities that can thrive for generations. The choices made now will shape the next generation, determining what kind of Philippines they will inherit and call home. Remittances are a cornerstone of the Philippine economy. Over 10 million Filipinos work abroad, sending home $36.1 billion in 2022, about 9% of GDP. These funds pay for education, build homes, and help families weather tough times. Remittances keep the economy moving, especially in rural areas with few jobs. But there's a cost. Families are separated, and communities can become dependent on money from abroad. The government aims to create more opportunities at home, so migration is a choice, not a necessity. Still, remittances remain a vital safety net and a driver of local business. The challenge is to turn this income into investments that create jobs at home. The Philippines is more than call centers and remittances. It's a key player in global manufacturing, especially electronics. In 2022, electronics made up over 55% of exports, earning $45.7 billion. Factories in Laguna, Cavite, and Batangas produce components for global brands like Apple and Toyota. Filipino engineers and technicians are skilled and adaptable, making the country a vital link in the supply chain. Global disruptions affect the Philippines, but its adaptability is a strength. The government is pushing for more value-added manufacturing to create higher-skilled jobs. Challenges remain: outdated ports, expensive electricity, and tough competition. To move up the value chain, the Philippines must invest in logistics, energy, and training. Reforms have fueled the Philippines' economic boom. The train law restructured taxes, raising funds for health, education, and infrastructure. Build used public debt to finance growth, but debt has now reached 61% of GDP. The key is to invest borrowed money wisely and avoid waste or corruption. Inflation is a constant worry. Prices of rice, fuel, and electricity often rise faster than wages. Supply chain disruptions and climate shocks add to the challenge. Inequality remains stubborn. While some regions prosper, others are left behind. Rural poverty, informal jobs, and poor access to services hold millions back. Reforms must focus on fairness, not just growth. The goal is for every Filipino to share in the country's success. Good governance and smart investment are crucial for lasting progress. The Philippines has one of Asia's youngest populations. Over half are under 25. This youth bulge is both a challenge and an opportunity. If young people get quality education and jobs, they can drive decades of growth. If not, frustration and inequality could rise. The government must invest in schools, teachers, and digital skills. The pandemic exposed gaps in online learning and access to technology. Compared to Vietnam and Indonesia, the Philippines shines in services but faces deeper inequality and climate risks. The future is promising but complex. If reforms continue and investments grow, the boom can last. The real test is not just growth, but how well its benefits are shared. The world should watch the Philippines, not just for surprises, but for lessons in resilience and hope.